Hi, I'm Patty Jessup with the Southeastern Dogue de Bordeaux Association, and today we are fortunate enough to have Jim and Viola Shannon, longtime exhibitors and breeders of the Dogue de Bordeaux, and we're going to be talking about how, as a pet owner, you can find a reputable breeder. So Viola, I'm going to start with you. What do you think are the main things that would tell me as a pet owner that I'm talking to a reputable breeder?
First thing I would start with is we always health test our dogs. The recommendation is going to be your hips, hearts, and elbows. If you don't get a good health testing, you might want to look somewhere else.
So what's a good health testing? Can you describe what that is?
You want them to pass the majority of the tests.
Okay.
If one of the dogs has a bad hip, just one bad hip, you can maybe breed it up with a better hip dog and get a better product puppy, but you always want to try to get something with passing test scores.
Okay.
And your breeders are going to share that with you. If they don't share it with you, you don't want it.
Okay. So Jim, you want to add anything to that?
The main thing on the health testing would be the heart. You don't want, if it doesn't pass the heart test, echo, you want to walk away because you can lose the dog at 2 years old.
Or less.
Yeah, it's probably important to point out that in the Dogue de Bordeaux breed, heart is probably, would y'all say, the number one
Yes,
Yes.
it
health
is.
problem in
Yes.
these dogs. Right, so the health test is really important, especially in the Dogue de Bordeaux breed.
Yes,
So, well, what about a contract? Should I expect a contract?
absolutely. If you walk into a breeder's house and they can't give you a contract, then you want to see what they've done with past puppy buyers. A good breeder will have everything explained to you in the contract. If they don't, you really don't want to go there.
And so what would you say are important clauses in the contract?
Well, your big things are going to be, you want to make sure that the dog stays in the house, not chained to a tree outside, and that the dog is well socialized. With being in rescue as well, you get a lot of problematic dogs because the families never socialize them. They leave them tied to a shed. So you don't want to do that.
So what if I got a puppy from you guys and something life-changing happened in my life, and I
A
could learn?
good breeder's going to take that puppy back like that.
Right.
If they won't, then they weren't intended to be your good breeder.
So what about a spay neuter? Should that?
If it is a pet puppy, we usually don't recommend that they be spayed or neutered until they're 2 or
Right.
more, but they're going to be healthier, intact.
Right.
So
And by age
some
2?
breeders say you have to do it. Some breeders will say don't, just keep them intact and protect them.
Some owners are not going to want the dog to come in and out of heat every 6 months, but you need to at least wait till they're 2 years old because they'll be a healthier dog.
And they're structurally sound.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And what about, I'm just talking to you on the phone and I don't live in the state you live in, but I'm willing to drive. Can I expect to see the bitch, the mother of the puppies when I come in?
Absolutely. You can see the mother of the puppies. If the puppies are not a certain age, you will not get in to see the puppies. But normally a good breeder is going to send you tons of videos and pictures of mama, daddy, and the puppies as they mature.
And so why couldn't I see the puppies at 5 weeks old?
We don't want anybody walking in any germs or parvo or distemper or anything like that. They don't have an immune system built up. Yes, they get something from mom, but they don't get enough to protect them. So we recommend that you wait until at least 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay. And you said you get lots of updates. I know when I got my Dogue de Bordeaux, I got updates weekly about
Yes.
my puppy. Pictures, calls on the phone, emails throughout the whole process.
I tend to do a little bit more than that, but that's because we make sure someone is home with them. So if I'm at work and I get a picture of the litter and they're doing great, I like to say, have a good day, here's a picture.
Right.
You know, just
So just constant
hack.
communication.
Yes.
Some litters, I mean, we've had live cameras pretty much go like 24/7.
Right, so
The
they can
entire-
see
You could log,
Yeah, that's
I mean,
a
it
great
could be
idea.
log, I mean, it's not, you can't log in all the time because, I mean,
If the lights are off, you can't see anything.
Right.
anyway.
Right, right. But that's a great idea, like have a webcam available certain hours of the day.
Yes.
That's great.
when they get older, I mean, if she's at work, or I'm at work, I mean, we can log in and see what's going on.
Yeah. Well, that's a fantastic idea. Okay, so what about price? So, how much should I expect to pay for a quality pet puppy?
Well, they generally go, right now, I'm here 5,000. Some of them are down to 25, but you're not always going to get a great one at 25. So you always want to keep in mind you're going to get what you pay for.
Right.
If you go and you find a cheap puppy, you might have whatever you would have paid for a good puppy. You might have that offset in health issues or structure or temperament, behavioral. You really want to watch for those things and wonder why that puppy is so cheap.
Yeah, so especially in this breed. So why is temperament so important?
Because if you've got a nasty bitch or male, you're going to have a really bad issue with showing or even just taking them out to the park or walking them down the street. If your dog is going to attack a dog, that's something you're going to have to deal with,
Right.
or then it ends up in my hands in a rescue situation.
Right.
So you want the best temperament possible.
Yeah, because this is a guardian breed. I
It
think.
is absolute, yes.
When they're full grown, they're going to be stronger than you. So
Yeah.
if they don't listen to you, you're not going to overpower.
They will overpower you
Yeah,
very
so
easily.
a grown male Dogue de Bordeaux, what, 180, 130 to 180 pounds?
Yeah. I mean, usually
Some
more
of
like 150, 160, but still.
Yes.
That's a lot of power with
Yeah.
That's a lot of weight.
Even a smaller dog is more powerful.
Yeah, and a female weight range.
Between 100 to 130. Some of them are a little bit bigger, but some of them got a little bit more beef in the butt. So
Right. So those are really strong. I mean, I
absolutely,
weigh about 200 pounds, but Frank,
they'll still take you out.
my male weighs 140 pounds. I mean, if he goes in a full thrust, he's gonna pull me down
It's absolutely gonna
with
pull
the
you
back,
down
you know.
and drag you behind him.
Yeah, and so that's why temperament
It's a must.
is very important,
It's
as
a
well
must.
as the health testing.
Don't
also.
ever use a retractable leashes.
No,
They're horrible.
I know this is a breeder video, but absolutely no retractable leashes because they are you're just asking for it. Okay, so let's turn the tables a little bit. I call you on the phone, you don't know me at all. And I say, hey, I'm interested in a Dogue de Bordeaux puppy. What are you gonna look for in a prospective pet home to place one of your dogs?
First of all, we're going to listen just a little bit because most of the time, within the first 5 minutes of the conversation, you're going to know if that's somebody you want to sell a puppy to or somebody you don't. Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, you want to check all those things, write that name down and look it up. We had a breeder in Oklahoma contact us and say, I want one of your puppies. So the first thing he does is looks at Facebook. They've never shown a puppy, but they've been in the breed for over 10 years. No confirmation, no pedigrees, nothing. If you really want to buy a puppy from somebody like that, that's going to be somebody that's just putting puppies out for money. If you can't offer them that pedigree and that show championship, what are you offering them?
So what's a pedigree?
Your pedigree is like your birthright. You've got your grandma, your grandpa, your mom, your dad,
Family
your
tree for
siblings.
a dog.
It's a family tree for the dog. So,
And so when you look up that pedigree tree, are you looking for champions, grand champions?
yes, yes. And if they're not champion or grand champion, what are you spending your money on?
So in front of the dog's name, for people who've never seen a pedigree, the grand champion would be GCH.
Yes.
And aren't there's like gold, platinum, silver. So what would it say? GCH.
Yeah, I mean, some of the foreign dogs are not going to have anything in front of their name. just 'cause
But
that's not
American
how
in the
they're
U.S.
listed.
So if that was Grand Champion Bronze, what would it GCAB? Okay. So you're looking for those champion lines.
You really want to try to get your champion lines for the show.
Okay.
For the pet, I still like getting those and seeing those just because you know that that breeder's vested in that puppy.
Okay.
If they're not going to spend the money and take the time, you really don't want to.
And so, well, what are you as a breeder looking for in a pet home? Would you sell to somebody who's looking at an apartment?
No.
Why?
The dog needs room to run, room to play. Dogue de Bordeaux are very big. They need the extra yard to be able to go out and run. And in an apartment, they're just not getting the exercise they need. So then they become a behavioral issue because they're eating your couch or your kitchen table or your coffee table because they're bored. You don't want them to be unexercised and bored.
So would you sell a puppy to a single person that works 16 hours a day?
I would be very hesitant about that for the simple
For the
fact
fact
of who's going to take care of the dog? The dog's going to be crated or chained up somewhere for 16 hours a day. The people have to sleep sometime.
And do you look for experience with large dogs?
Preferably, yes.
Yes, but I mean, they're willing to work with you and do what you say they're gonna do. Someone's gonna, you always
So you
gotta
would-
start out somewhere.
You would coach somebody
Yes.
because you're going to be involved.
Being willing to mentor with a breeder is a major thing.
And what about level setting expectations for the potential pet home about vetting, transporting? I mean, you're transporting a 140-pound dog back and forth to the vet. How are you going to get them back and forth? You know, you look for that kind of reasonable expectations on the part of the buyer.
Usually we'll check with their vet.
So you ask for a vet reference. That's a great idea.
A vet reference and personal references, because then you can actually get in and say, hey, how do they take care of their current dog? If their current dog is not vaccinated and not on heartworm medicine or flea and tick medicine, what makes you think this puppy's going to be treated any differently?
Right, exactly right. And so, should they expect to get a puppy right away, or should they expect to be on a wait list for the reputable breeder?
Well, if you get a puppy right away, they're normally not going to be that reputable breeder. A reputable breeder can have a wait list. We've had one for years.
And so, how long is it from going on the wait list, usually, generally, going on the wait list to actually getting the puppy? A year, 6 months?
Sometimes it can take longer than 6 months to
Depends on the breeder, how many.
Right.
We've slowed down how many litters we put out. Because, I mean, it's a lot of work.
somebody has to be on to take care of.
So let's just say a year, a minimum of a year on the wait list, because
I mean,
they
they're
just come and eat, what, every 6 months, or 6 to 9 months?
I mean, people cancel for whatever reason or another. And, I mean,
So then we
I
go
don't
to the next
I
person.
don't want to force someone to take a puppy just because they've been on my wait list.
Right.
I mean, if they're not ready for a puppy, I mean,
Not
Or
ready.
if I just want a male, right, if I
right.
want a male, I might be on the wait list longer, because you might only have 1 male and 5 females,
Right.
right? So it really depends on what you're looking for, as to how long but you should expect to be on that wait list. And you should expect to pay a minimum of $2,500 for a puppy, even a pet.
And a lot of breeders don't ask for deposits. So you don't ask for deposits, but some do like to take deposits. I think that if you're gonna take a deposit or give a deposit, you need to know who you're giving money to first.
Right. So how would you figure that out?
I would say the very first thing would be you research your breeder, and if you can't come to terms with everything and they're just standoffish and just not going to work with you, move to the next breeder. There are plenty of people that will sell you a puppy.
And so should I expect to get show quality?
Depending on the litter of the puppy, you could, but not always. The show quality puppies are going to be put back for promotion of that line. So you may not get a show quality puppy. You could, just because it doesn't show quality at 6 to 8 weeks, doesn't mean at 12 to 14 will change. So you very well could get a show quality puppy in your pet puppy price.
And usually pet puppies are on limited registration, but that can be changed.
That registration can be changed depending on the outcome of the puppy. If the puppy looks great, then great, we can change that and you can show the puppy.
So if I come to you and I'm going to show my dog, you look at my dog and go, you're not going to do well in the ring, you're going to encourage them on, maybe this is not the best puppy to show, or this is not the best dog to show, maybe mentor them a little bit about showing, maybe.
We have done that. We've done that quite a bit. We've sold pet puppies just because we thought that, they wanted a pet puppy. And our pet puppies ended up being show puppies. We went back and changed our registration and mentored the owners into what to look for and how to go about showing.
Right, because when you enter the dog show world, you really need to mentor.
You do.
You just can't charge into the dog show and go, "Oop, I'm here to show my dog."
Yes.
Probably need to join a local club, even other breeds, they can help you in the dog show world.
In the confirmation
They
classes
don't
and things
have
like
to have the
that.
same breed as you do to
Right.
learn.
So it's really important to maintain, even though, my breeder, I've become really good friends with her because we stay in contact all the time.
But your family,
Yeah.
you instantly became
Exactly.
family
You
the
become,
day you brought that puppy
that's a
in your
really
life.
good way to put it. You become a member of the family. Okay. What about if the home has young children? Are you going to be concerned about young children?
I would be concerned with them, but most of the Dogue de Bordeaux puppies are raised with children or in a family home, so they interact at an early age with children.
Breeds is pretty good.
The big thing is you want to make sure that your parents are going to watch the children.
Right. Right. So
You don't want your puppy
to be
jumping off the couch
Right.
or the bed,
Child
slip floors.
with the dog, the child.
well, yeah, exactly. So you would understand. And what about other dogs, so cats or parrots or hamsters or whatever?
Things like that, just with supervision.
So if you bring a Dogue de Bordeaux puppy in, let's just say I got a miniature poodle too, and if that Dogue de Bordeaux puppy and that miniature poodle are managed appropriately together by the
They're going to
owner,
become best
they're gonna
friends
become-
within
yeah.
a very short period of time.
You just gotta worry about the dogs that grow so fast.
Right.
Stepping on the
Step
little
on the dog.
Yeah.
So with supervision.
Right.
So the little dog's gonna be the boss.
Yeah. I have a terrier
Always.
that's the boss of both mine. So,
When we sold a male puppy to someone that has a Yorkie, and the Yorkie is the boss.
okay, what about expectations for, so if I call you up on the phone, expectations for hunting, if I call you up on the phone and say, hey, my house has to be pristine at all times, and
Then maybe you
I'm-
can research your
I'm-
breed.
I'm meticulous about the way I dress, and, are you looking for reasonable expectations about how much dog? Because they do drool, they are
They
messy.
do, and they are. If you're coming in and you're meticulous with your house and you don't like dirt or drool, or you've got to be prepared for,
Or messy
you are
eating.
gonna have drinking, eating, and then they shake their head, you got slobber on your ceiling.
Stalactite slobber from the
Yes. And that stuff is like wallpaper paste.
Yes, it
You
is.
can't get it off. So what I would say is maybe you need to research the breed just a little bit more, or go see one in person, and then quite possibly change your opinion.
Yeah, it's probably important to point out that most, if not all, giant breeds, which the Dogue de Bordeaux is the massive breed,
Yes.
Great Danes, they all slobber.
They do. You are correct, they do.
So if you're looking for a dog a giant breed dog, you probably need to reset your expectations about how it's
Absolutely.
supposed to be.
And if you can't reset them, you need to move to a different breed.
Right. Okay, so how do I find a reputable breed? I mean, am I just going to go on Facebook or or Google and just get the one with the shiniest website? How do I find you?
Breed Club website, better ways to go to a show, talk to different breeders or handlers, or generally point you in the right direction.
You don't always want to take just the first breeder you meet. You like to
You wanna
talk
get-
to
yeah.
multiples
It's like hiring an employee.
and then determine which one you think you fit better with. Because like I said, you're going to become family with that one. And if you're meeting that breeder and you're like, something's wrong with that person.
Yeah.
If you go online, I mean, they can have a fancy looking website. It doesn't necessarily mean they're a quality breeder that's going to have your best interest in heart.
And if you go to a breeder's home and all those dogs are in kennels
Outside
in the
kennels.
backyard, that's not a good breeder.
So you can maybe look at their Facebook page if they're active on Facebook and sort of see, go back in time. The local, you know, if you have a local breed club or even a national club, local breed club will probably be better. Those are breeders in your direct
And
vicinity.
the Breed Parent Club is a very informative tool to have
Yeah.
as far as they have breeder listings. You can check those breeder listings on every breeder and say, well, I'm going to go to this one first. You can go to this one, talk to them.
Talk to more than
If
one.
they won't talk to you, then you don't
Yeah.
want to do business with them.
Right.
This is an expense that you're going to be spending a lot of money for. So you want to make sure that you can get the right puppy for your family.
Right. And as breeders, and really as owners and as club members, we're trying to place dogs in the right homes because we don't want them
In
to end
rescue.
up in a rescue. And you're very active in the DDBR rescue, right? What is it?
DDBSA rescue.
DDBSA rescue. And
Those come from people that did not research their breed before they got it. They did not research their breeder, or they didn't know how much of an obligation this dog is going to be.
or how messy that dog is.
Right. They just took it and they threw it out in the backyard or chained it to a shed.
Yeah, and that's, yeah. So we're trying to place dogs in responsible homes, and we want good pet owners to find reputable breeders, and that's the whole purpose of this video. So thank you guys very much for joining us
Thank you for having
today.
us.
And if anybody on YouTube has any questions or comments, please post them in the comments in the video, and I'll make sure you get answers to your questions.